morning and welcome to Atheist Talk on KTNF AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. Good morning to all of you joining us locally by radio and streaming online. We appreciate you tuning in. Today is Sunday, June 30th, and I'm your host, Hertzey here in studio with Jordan. And joining us by Skype is fellow podcaster Ami with an I from the Secular Soup podcast. This is an open conversation, and we welcome and encourage listener interaction with your phone calls to 952-946-6205, your emails to radio@mnatheist.org, tweet us, or find us on Facebook at Atheist Talk. The phone number is only available when we are live, but you can always email, tweet, etc., whether we're live or you're listening to the podcast. Jordan, Amy, welcome to Atheist Talk.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Now, I was going to say, I think all three of us are fairly tired this morning. Jordan and I had a late...
I'm fine.
Oh, you're fine. Okay.
Yeah. I don't sleep, usually.
Ah, okay, that would help. I need sleep. I'd say beauty sleep, but that's not going to go. Now, Amy, we were talking about this a little bit before the show. You are from Texas, correct?
Right.
All right. And so we're kind of going to go through some of the at least our starting point is going to be going through the differences. It's kind of a meandering conversation today.
That's the only kind I can participate in.
That works.
Even if I'm given a script, I'm like, what is this? I don't know what to do with this.
So one of the big differences that we seemed to highlight was the question of like when you're interacting with somebody new, and in Texas and the South, you know, I've heard a lot about how people are like, oh, yeah. What's
like the first question?
Yeah, that's your first question.
Basically, they're like, what? Well, they'll say, so I'll meet someone at my kid's school, and I'll say, oh, hey, you know, this is my kid, and they'll say, oh, okay. What do you do? Well, or what does your husband do? Is what they ask me, and I'll say, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Don't really have one. And then they'll say, you know, do you have a church home? They'll ask me about my church home.
And that's
do you have a church?
That's actually
what church do you go to? Well, sometimes it's you know, what church do you go to? Because there's so many, and so it's like, oh, I go to, you know, Fellowship of the God Bible. They're like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I go to the one next door, the Elevate God Bible. Oh, okay. Well, my friend goes to, you know, Bible Church, whatever. Oh, okay. It's like on every block. So it's kind of, it puts people in categories for each other.
Okay.
So and I'm like, well, I don't really, I'm not really religious, and I don't really go to church. They're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, but I was raised Mormon. They're like, oh, that makes sense then. You're good. Because if you were raised wrong, the wrong, you know, Mormonism is the wrong one.
Got it.
That is the wrong one, apparently.
It makes sense to them that you no longer go to church. Because they're like, oh, that's okay then, sweetie. You're good.
It'd be interesting to go down to Texas and just be like, yeah, I grew up whatever you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then well, they're like, as long as you have a good relationship with Jesus, you're good. You're like, oh, I mean, I don't tell people, but I'm just like, yeah.
We see each other every Sunday for bridge.
We're tight. We're totes. Cool.
It's like my I was raised Catholic. My mom was Lutheran though, and a friend who was Catholic told her that all Lutherans are going to hell. It's like, oh, that's nice.
That was my so I was talking. Aww. I got to talk to my
bless her heart.
I come from a small conservative town in Wisconsin, so
I grew up in the middle of St. Paul. Still Catholic though. Still grew up Catholic, and then hilariously went to an Assemblies of God college for 9 months. I don't know why I went. It's the biggest mystery of my life. And you know the number of people who were like, oh, you're Catholic. Oh, I'm so sorry. And you're just looking going, why does it matter how we're doing this? Like, you're really, wow, you are all your opinions are asinine. I mean, because I also grew up pretty liberal, so, you know, they were very anti-homosexual and
what's that like? That would be nice.
And it was, and then they were like to the point where like Tolkien and Lord of the Rings and stuff, that was evil. And there were some who even went further, and C.S. Lewis was evil.
Oh, and don't get me started on Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was just going to say Harry Potter.
Was way out.
Witchcraft.
And so and so was D&D. So it's like some of these things that, we've talked, I know, Amy, you and I have kind of talked about before, and Jordan, we might have talked about too, because everyone knows I love the Satanic Panic.
I blocked all of our conversations.
Oh,
I don't remember any.
You just don't like Dr. Kim.
No, I like him too much. It's scary.
So the history.
I'm gonna get a restraining order because I like him too much.
So the history is Amy and Amy came on to, my other show when it was actually running, and we watched two videos actually by this guy named Dr. Kim, one of which was all about how cats are the evilest creature on earth.
Very, very informative. He is a smart guy. He knows his stuff. He taught me things I didn't even know.
And yes, because then the other one was about how dinosaurs were also evil.
That was the best. So he's one of those guys that it's like 2 + 2 = 4. 4 is an even number. Even numbers are of the devil. Bang. Number 2 is evil. It's like, wait.
Wow.
Like he was like all these correlations, and it's like there's the letter A in this word and this word.
Yeah.
Therefore, Satan. You're like, wow.
There's a lady on. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, is it Liz Crokin?
Who?
Is it Liz Crokin?
I don't remember the name. She made a video about how.
Is that the monster lady?
That is the monster lady. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not Liz Crokin, but still.
Monster energy drinks are the devil.
I drink them in the morning because the lady that sits in her desk across from me is like, I don't mess with that. Because it's a cult, it's an occultist. Just in case, she was like, I don't know if it's real, but just in case, I'm not going to mess with it. And so I sit there and slowly sip it, and like make eye contact.
Yeah, you got to make eye contact with her as you're sipping it to be like, what?
Constantly, yeah.
The only thing is, I wouldn't, because there's an amazing amount of sugar in there.
Yes.
So what I would probably do is
Oh no, I get the sugar-free one.
Okay.
Okay, that's better. But I'd still probably like dump it out and then just put like water in it. Oh, isn't it?
No.
It's fast.
That's how I don't sleep, is I drink Monster.
Maybe I should try that.
It helps.
Right now I just have water.
So, I'm not drinking this morning like alcohol, so that's good.
Hey! I would probably be drinking alcohol, except for I have to drive back to my house.
Yeah. Oh, you could have said something. I brought 12 beers home from last night.
Nice.
Brought 6 of them. All 6 were gone, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Well, we need all this beer gone. So here, take the case of Northeast and whatever else we got here."
That was a fun party. It was my mom's birthday party, and then also a friend of hers. They did a double birthday party.
Nice.
Yes.
We had a long session of Cards Against Humanity, and it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm. No, that's always fun.
Yep.
Well, okay, it's not always fun. No. Sometimes it's fun.
That's a game where being an awful human being
depends on who you're playing with.
Don't play with your parents. Mm-hmm. Mom keeps wanting to play with me.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You're like, that's not something I want to do.
No,
ever.
There was one time where I did play with my parents because we were at a gaming store kind of thing, and that was what everyone wanted to play. And my favorite part was whenever Dad had to read a card, it was almost magic because a kid would appear in earshot. And he was just like standing, just being like, trying to do it quietly. Because it was Sunday afternoon. I mean, the kid can be there. It's not like it's late at night or an adults only thing. It just happened that those kids would just randomly come into earshot whenever he had to do it.
Yep.
So back to Texas.
Okay. So yeah, that's basically one of the first questions you get. And then, or it's when they were in kindergarten, it was something along the lines of, where did they go to preschool? And I would say, it was just a private preschool that my friend ran. And they're like, well, we went to, little God Bible. I don't even know. And I'm like, I've heard good things about it. Like, yeah. Or, Jesus Prep or whatever, all of these, because that also kind of tells what flavor you are.
Are there any secular? Because I think I went to a community center preschool when I was a kid.
Yeah, but that usually tells something about you also. They're like, oh, okay. Well, I also, my kids also went to school in a very snobby Texas town.
Got it.
So it categorized people in a lot of different ways.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and I don't play games. Like, I don't play the game, so I'm just like, I like taught my oldest two, and my younger one was in like a school that was run out of someone's home. And whatever, I don't care.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say it's preschool. They're learning. They're learning.
They don't
shapes.
They don't even need to go to preschool. If I'm honest, the only reason she went to preschool is because I was in school during the day. Also,
See, I would actually argue. I think kids do need preschool.
Yeah. No.
Granted, I also don't plan on having kids, so.
Well, okay, for the practice of structure, yes.
Okay.
I say just for making friends, at least.
Also do it, if you also do it where you have a set schedule, it's not really necessary, and you do enough socialization, like the kids go out and do things, it's fine.
Okay.
Like, it's fine. So when I had time to do that, I did that. Otherwise, I didn't, so.
So it's a, actually, we are going to be going to break in just a second. So,
okay.
Please stay with us.
I was about to say something amazingly mind-blowing, but no, go ahead.
Sorry. You're just going to have to hold that thought if you can.
I'm going to forget it.
I know. Please stay with us through the break. We'll return to Atheist Talk with Jordan and Amy. Have a great day.
Hello, humans. This is me, Ellie Krug, with Ellie 2.0 Radio on Monday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. I'm an idealist working to change the world. My show, Ellie 2.0 Radio, highlights other past and present idealists and the incredible things humans can do when we work for the greater good. You remember that idea about the greater good, right? I've got a vision of a better world where everyone has a place at the table. Listen every Monday from 7 to 8 a.m. and be inspired on AM 950.
Connections Radio Show is all about tapping into our hardwired hunger to connect. We examine meaningful connections to ourselves, our community, and the world around us. By opening the door to innovative insights by a wide variety of interesting guests, we'll make the connections to something bigger than ourselves. Join me, Lori Fitz, your host of Connections Radio Show, and together we'll make the connections. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
This is New Beginnings, hosted by award-winning broadcaster and speaker Freddie Bell.
Freddie, this generation of the baby boomers, people are living longer, so the baby boomers are taking care of elderly parents.
Let's talk about your health, and specifically, let's talk about Medicare. Our show features the concerns of America's 78 million baby boomers in employment, finance, health and nutrition, and even entertainment.
Catch New Beginnings with Freddie Bell, Saturdays at 11 on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Hi, my name is Mickey McCabe, and I'm the owner of Cucumbers Restaurant at 75th and France and Edina. If you've never been to Cucumbers, it's a buffet-style restaurant with a huge variety of salads, homemade soups, bakery items, and hot entrees that change daily and nightly. Plus our always fresh fruit and delicious ice cream. We're open for lunch and dinner, but Sunday brunch is my favorite time at Cucumbers. With scrambled eggs, waffles, French toast, bacon, sausage, baked ham, chicken fajitas, brunch potatoes, warm gooey cinnamon rolls, and many other items to choose from, it's no wonder why Cucumbers has always been a popular Sunday destination. So whether you're looking to skip Mass, someplace to go after Mass, or just great food to maintain your Mass, Cucumbers is the answer to your prayers. Bring in your church bulletin or Minnesota Atheist newsletter and receive a $2 discount off the buffet price. Cucumbers, one heavenly buffet at 75th and France in Edina.
Don't believe in God? Join the club. Humanists, atheists, and freethinkers have joined the American Humanist Association since 1941 to advocate for progressive values and equality for non-theists in America. Located in Washington, D.C., the American Humanist Association lobbies Congress on humanist issues, protects the rights of atheists in the courts, and supports more than 140 local chapters. Visit us at AmericanHumanist.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter to learn how you can join the club today.
Welcome back to AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota. You're tuned into Atheist Talk, and I'm your host, Hertzey, in studio with Jordan. And via Skype is Amy with an I from the Secular Soup podcast. Atheist Talk is produced with funding from the Minnesota Atheists and Cucumbers Restaurant in Edina, Minnesota. Please consider visiting our sponsors, and if you do, let them know you appreciate their support of Atheist Talk. If you'd like to advertise on the program and help keep us on the air, please contact us at radio@mnatheist.org. As for the here and now, if you'd like to get involved with conversation with Jordan, Amy, and I this morning, you can call us at 952-946-6205, email us at radio@mnatheist.org, or tweet us at atheisttalk. Amy, Jordan, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yay.
Now, Amy, you said you had something amazing and wonderful to say.
Oh,
Did you remember that
absolutely
at all?
forgot it. No, I'm sorry. It was life-changing.
Oh.
Or the moment's just gone now. So
Oh yeah.
it was all
sure.
it was all built up before the break. And, nope, we're done.
Nope. You know what? You don't deserve it anymore.
Okay,
Oh. Okay, so
we'll take that.
I know that Texas is a fairly large state. Is there one, like in Minnesota, there is kind of a running assumption typically that you're going to be usually Lutheran, I think, ish.
Yeah.
I mean, like nobody.
Yeah, there's a couple.
There's like nobody asks, mostly because I don't think many people care.
Yeah,
but it's like
it's
but it's like, so is there like one dominating religion?
Probably non-denominational Christian, like just the Pastor Jim at the Bible church on the corner.
Yep.
Okay.
Which actually, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, when I first moved up to this particular area, because every area has its own flavor. Because down in the South, it's more Catholic, and there's some pockets of strong Southern Baptist. Because there's some Southern Baptist universities here, and they're pretty, you know, Baylor's here, so it's a pretty it's a strong hold. But it's up here, it's just non-denominational, more just Christian churches, which I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, because I just thought they were more easygoing and watered down. But they tend to get almost Westboro-y. Like they're actually dangerous. They're kind of scary.
That's not good.
No,
we don't need that.
No, some of them are pretty scary. There was one that in my town that was actively preaching against gays like 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
That's 2017. That's not okay.
No.
So, and when people called him out on it, they were like, the Bible says. It's like, oh, cool. The cars all have "In God We Trust." It's
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's interesting because it's like when you say non-denominational, I can speak. Up here, typically that your assumption, it's like typically that's the more just liberal,
spiritual, not really necessarily religious.
Yeah, the Unitarian.
No, they lean. They're the ones that every single thing they say is somehow tied into God.
Ugh.
So there's this lady I work with. Everything she says, she's like, "Oh, I finished my work. God is good. Praise Jesus." Like, you finished your work.
That's all.
You finished it. God didn't jump in and type things for you.
No. Like I had to carry this cake back from the party room to the mom and dad's apartment, and it was a heavy cake because it was angel food cake, and then there was like 3 plates with it too, so it was fairly heavy, and I had it in one arm, and it's like, oh, I made it. God didn't.
Praise Jesus.
No, that was just
God is good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple of coworkers that are very devout Christians, and I hear that all the time. They have their every day before work. They have their 6 a.m. Men's group Bible study. Then they have some after work too, and then they have their whole something good happened to them during the day. It's like God must have been watching out for me. It's like, yeah, sure,
whatever.
And then I get invited to all this stuff too. It's like, yeah, we got men's group, or we got this big breakfast over at the Methodist church a couple miles down the road.
Well,
sure.
Lightning striking. We have a call, actually.
I mean, Methodist is okay. They're like the
Amy?
The cooler Christians, I guess.
Amy, we have a call, actually, real quick.
Yes.
We have Lynette from Chaska.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to add to the conversation 2 things. Well, first, whatever we choose to believe in, the word believe has the word lie right in the middle. So we always have to question our beliefs, no matter what it is. And 2, I used to work in a retail store. And
Is she gone?
I remember one night this lady comes in and she asked me, "Are you a believer?" And I was like, I just said, "A believer in what?" I really didn't.
Yep. Yeah.
And then she just kind of backed away and she didn't talk to me. And I was just like, it was so weird. Like, what is that? But I know it's code. I know it's a code, but I don't know what religion she was or whatever.
Right.
But it's just kind of silly that people talk that way. But anyway, just wanted to add that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, even when I was Catholic, I probably would have had the same reaction of what are you talking about?
I actually had that once. I was sitting at the, I've probably had about at least 20 people say that I look like Jesus. And there was one guy at the bar. I was sitting at the one night. He's like, you look just like Jesus. And he leans in closer to me. He goes, "Do you believe in Jesus?" Just like staring at me with wide eyes. And the bartender's like, "Okay, we're not doing this here." I'm like,
No.
I was like, first off, it's kind of a personal question.
So, absolutely.
Yeah, that kind of, it didn't freak me out, but I was like, seriously, you're asking me that now?
Yeah.
Right.
At a bar. Let me drink in peace.
I go there just to sit there and just mind my own business. That's it. I don't need you asking me this crap.
If there's karaoke, I might participate in that.
There was a mechanical bull, and I have a hand injury to prove that. So. That was the first.
See, and you
first
go
and
for
last
different.
time.
You go for different reasons than I do. I go to bars for random strangers to ask inappropriate questions and buy me drinks. I have a different agenda.
Yes, you do. No, I'm fairly introverted, so I like to go there.
No,
they got big TVs there, and I just like to watch TV and drink my beer. If I talk to some people that I know there, that's fine. Otherwise, just leave me
alone.
Leave me the hell alone.
See,
I do.
Go ahead.
Free roll poker at bars, but I don't like to actually talk to people.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have no like moral issue with bars. I just know bars are kind of expensive for drinks and such. So
They can be. It depends. It depends where you go.
I was gonna say, if somebody else is buying,
Well,
See,
of course.
that's the key. That's the key.
Yes.
Is you're like, I would like a shot. Why, thank you.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm a cheapskate, so I do what is noted as one of Minnesota's greatest fears, which is I will stay home and drink alone.
Yeah. I'll do that sometimes. But the key is for me, I always go during happy hour. Half off rails and domestics.
Yeah, those are usually like at a time where I can't go because I've got work.
Yeah, exactly.
My work goes to like 5.
But the one night that I was there, there's a representative from Crown Royal there. It's like, hey, they're giving out free shots of Crown Royal. Would you like one?
Score!
Yes, I would.
And I also like to go to liquor stores, like after workish time, because they have the tasting areas set up.
Oh yeah.
Yes, those are wonderful things.
Those are fun.
It's like Costco, but for liquor. Yeah.
Oh, Costco is a whole different conversation.
Well, we'll get back to.
Well, yeah, but it's like the liquor Costco.
Yes.
Good.
We'll get back to liquor Costco, and actually, I'm going to ask questions about Mormonism in a minute. So
do it.
All right.
I know that.
We'll return right after the break. We'll return with Jordan and Amy with an I. Please stay with us. I'm Hertzey Hertz, and you're listening to Atheist Talk on KTNF AM 950.
Being a dog is awesome, except when you really gotta go, but you're stuck inside. That's why I had my human called the Urban Dog. Daily walks, field trips, play groups, one-on-one time, safe off-leash play, and pet sitting. I love being an Urban Dog.
The Urban Dog works with your schedule and can create a plan that fits your needs. The Urban Dog. Exercise, explore, socialize. Let the journey begin. Call 651-231-6333. That's 651-231-6333.
I'm Rick Unger. You've heard the screamers, you've heard the shouters, the haters, the beraters. Well, now it's time to listen to a real conversation, a rational conversation. Now it's time for the Rick Unger Show.
Listen to the Rick Unger Show every weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Stream at am950radio.com or search KTNF on the TuneIn app.
Hi, this is Ken Hageland, host of Living Healthy and Aging Well, inviting you to listen to our new show airing on Saturdays from noon to 1, where we talk about your health and your life and provide insights to living and aging well. Each week, we provide answers to important questions regarding health care, elder care, end-of-life care, and caregiver support to help you and your loved ones plan for the future and enjoy your highest quality of life today. Please join us every Saturday from noon to 1 for Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Atheists, secular humanists, and free thinkers. Here you are listening to the Minnesota Atheists Talk Radio Show, Atheists Talk. We hope you are enjoying it. If having a frankly atheist perspective on the radio waves appeals to you, please consider making a contribution to our radio fund. Our contract came up for renewal, and we need your help if you want the program to stay on the air. That will make sure that you can continue to have opportunities to hear interesting speakers with non-religious perspectives, and you can call up and ask them questions too. Get the details on our website at minnesotaatheists.org, where you will find buttons to make it easy to make a secure donation through PayPal. Or, if you have a business and would like to reach an intelligent, progressive audience, please contact us through our website. That's minnesotaatheists.org. Or call us at 612-588-7031. If you are interested in us, we are interested in you.
Don't believe in God? Join the club. Humanists, atheists, and freethinkers have joined the American Humanist Association since 1941 to advocate for progressive values and equality for non-theists in America. Located in Washington, D.C., the American Humanist Association lobbies Congress on humanist issues, protects the rights of atheists in the courts, and supports more than 140 local chapters. Visit us at AmericanHumanist.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter to learn how you can join the club today.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train.
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. See tracks? Think train.
To be honest.
Thank you for tuning in to Atheist Talk on AM 950 KTNF. I'm your host, Hertzey, and we're having what I would classify as a hilarious conversation with Ami Withani from Secular Soup and Jordan. If you would like to get involved in our conversation, you can call us at 952-946-6205, email us at radio@mnatheist.org, tweet us at Atheist Talk, or check out the Facebook page. Before we continue this conversation, there is some more housekeeping I need to attend to. I'd like to note our group of dedicated volunteers and the generous donations of you, our listeners. You help keep Atheist Talk on the air and in podcast form. And I'd like to note a special donor. I'm going to note Nancy and Matthew. Happy birthday, Nancy, first off. Also, a listener, happy birthday, Les. If you are able to help us with the donation, please consider doing so at our Radio Fund page or our Patreon, where you can get extended interviews. Minnesota Atheist is a 501c3 tax-deductible organization, and we could not do the show without you, and we deeply appreciate your support. Music for Atheist Talk is by composer and member Brent Michael Davis and is used with permission. Please note, all opinions are the guest and host only and do not necessarily reflect those of the Minnesota Atheist Organization. Now let's get back to our talk with Jordan and Amy. And before we get too far, because I know I wanted to start talking about Mormonism and such, Amy, do you want to plug your show real quick before I forget?
Sure. You can find me on Secular Soup podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's me and some other chick. I don't even remember her name, but it's Ami with an I and someone else. And half of the show's really funny. No, it's a good show. We talk about whatever we want. Basically, we're both moms. We're both in fairly conservative areas. And so we're kind of the outliers in our areas because we're, liberal, outspoken, atheist moms.
Isn't it the 2 blueberries in tomato soup?
In a bowl of tomato soup.
Yes.
Nice. Yes. Because we're the little blue dots in a sea of red.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the first time you were on, Maddie actually had blueberries with tomato soup.
Yes. She was drinking blueberries in tomato soup in a cup.
It was disgusting.
She said it was as you would expect. Yes. As advertised, I believe.
I think she actually thought it was actually pretty decent too, and I was just sitting there going, nope.
No.
She did. Made me question some things. I'm like, I don't know if I trust your taste anymore.
Oh, come on. I was going to say, you're going to actually meet us actually pretty soon here.
I know, in August. I'm so excited.
Oh, I know. Yes, so that's an interesting thing. You and your partner in crime with podcasting have not actually met in person.
Oh, I am catfishing her. Pretty exciting. She's going to send me all of her savings, going to buy, gift cards. It's going to work out well.
Awesome.
Yeah. Are you going to get custody of Lady Chow Chow?
No.
That cat is so
I don't want another cat. I'm good.
It's the most beautiful cat.
She's really pretty. But yeah, we've never actually met in person, only in the virtual world. And but we've had a show for almost 2 years. So it's just
I love the internet. I love how it does that. So Mormonism.
Yeah.
Does Texas have a high population of Mormonism, or did you move?
Depends on the area. There are pockets.
Mm-hmm.
The little snobby town I lived in, the schools were probably about 25% more.
Wow.
Okay.
It was pretty high because there were literally Romneys in our school district. So, yeah, it depends. Like, people move to areas because they're white and delightsome, to use Mormon phrasing. And then their cousins and their friends and someone else that they knew, everybody just starts moving there, and it becomes like a little pocket.
Ah.
So
I see.
I mean, they don't go too far. They don't like start an army like Joseph Smith.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah.
No. And so
not overtly.
So now, does the Mormonism, does that ever clash with the Texas kind of reputation for drinking?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, so it's really funny because you show up at a restaurant and they'll be like, this pairs well with this, or this is the wine that we recommend, or whatever. Mormons are so incredibly condescending about their values. And I remember just growing up watching my parents do this. They're like, none of us drink. It's like an announcement. It's like nobody cares. You just say no, thank you.
Just stand there. It's like, we are not drinking here.
Or even just
none of us at this table. Just take these glasses away. We don't even want to see them. Like it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like nobody cares that you don't drink, and leave the glass for me because I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Well, we were talking about how over the break, Jordan and I were talking, and I was talking about how, was it Salt Lake City that had the wall in between the bartenders and the patrons?
The Zion Curtain.
The Zion Curtain.
Oh, that's a good thing.
It's the state of Utah. It's all of the state of Utah.
State.
There is a law in place because Mormons have infiltrated government, obviously, because they are in Utah, and they have this thing where if it's a place that serves food and alcohol, that the normal, wholesome patrons of that establishment shouldn't have to see the dirty drinkers. So they have like frosted glass walls and other things in order to keep eyes precious and pure.
So
you can't actually see it. You have to walk around like the little partition.
Okay, resist temptation.
So it always makes me laugh because it's like.
Well, and also, it's dirt. It's a sin.
Well, yeah. And it's one of those where it's like, you want to go up to the people and say, you do realize by making this forbidden, people want to do it more. Why don't you just not?
Well, I just want to ask him about Brigham Young's distillery because he liked his whiskey a lot.
Wait,
a lot.
Do you know when the whole alcohol thing started? Because Joseph Smith drank, Brigham Young drank.
I don't know those details.
Okay.
I know that my grandmother even talked about drinking, and then it just kind of became something that you can't do.
Huh.
Do you know? I was going to say, do you know maybe about the caffeine part? Because that's another one where I'm like, that's just. Weird.
Caffeine is allowed, just not hot drinks, but only coffee.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Caffeine's okay.
So you can have Coke.
Mormons live on Diet Coke. Live on it.
But you can't have coffee. Do lattes count?
Right, because the word of wisdom says hot drinks. Yep.
Okay, so wait.
Yeah, because word of wisdom says hot drinks, but not hot chocolate, because, it's delicious.
Oh, okay.
So wait, so what if you did a cold brew coffee? Does that count?
Oh, it counts. Yeah, any coffee's bad. Tea's bad.
My head hurts.
But then there's all these gray areas. I know. Don't think about it too hard. Then there's all these gray areas, like it's like you can't have tea. But what about herbal teas? Okay, you can have herbal teas.
This is
but
Dr.
then you're
Kim
like,
level stuff.
I know. That's why he and I are soulmates. We bonded on that level. I understand his mental gymnastics because I have practiced those routines.
Oh.
So yeah, it gets real tricky. You just don't drink coffee or tea. It's just you just don't drink coffee or tea.
Okay.
Just for that, I'm going to have either a.
But then it's
coffee
like,
or
but
tea.
you're like, well, is it because of the caffeine? They're like, as they're sipping Diet Coke, they're like, no.
Well, then what is it? What's the reason?
Well, see, now you're asking for logic here. That has no room. There's no room for logic.
Like, hey, look over there. Look over there.
No.
Yeah. Well,
Or Hertzey, look at that tree. Look at that tree. God exists because of that tree. Don't drink coffee. There you go.
That's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was gonna ask. I don't know how in tune you are with sports at all, but it reminded me of something that happened a number of years ago for Brigham Young University, their basketball team. They were a very good team, and one of their star players actually was suspended from the team because he admitted to having he had premarital sex with his girlfriend, and they found out about it. And there's like, yeah, you're done. You're not playing anymore.
Wow.
So.
Oh yeah, the honor code at BYU is crazy.
Yeah, I was
crazy.
During the last break, I was reading up on it. I was like, holy crap!
It actually.
You'll get sent home for missions for that stuff.
Yeah.
You'll get. Yeah, and it's shameful. It's shameful.
yeah.
Like he is forever. If he's still Mormon, I mean, hopefully he got out. But if he still is, it's the shame. Like you have to confess it to your bishop. You have to. It's always, and then you have to not have the sacrament for, a set number of time, and everybody watches people take the sacrament as you're in.
Is that
so it goes down the rows like one way to the other, and everybody just watches it, and you see who passes it past them and not take it.
Is
like,
that the Eucharist? Is that the Eucharist?
You know who those sinners are.
Is the sacrament like the Catholic version of the Eucharist?
It's bread and water.
Okay, so
yeah.
Oh yeah, except for we do
There's
wine.
no wine.
We do wine. I never drank that. I drank it once. I was like, oh. I probably said it a little too loud, but whatever.
I always went for it because I was always like, I wonder if it's going to taste different. Did never tasted different. It was always just, I mean, it's not good wine.
It's like on Family Guy when Peter drinks the wine. He's like, oh, is that really the blood of Christ? Yes. Oh, that guy must have been wasted 24 hours a day.
Oh.
Well, if you ask, you're like, it says bread and wine, like in the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
And there you say, well, back in the day, wine was actually juice, grape juice. It's like, no, it wasn't.
No, it was wine because of poop water.
Yeah, it was literally wine. But okay, go ahead and say grape juice.
Oh yeah.
Then why isn't it grape?
Yeah, why not grape juice?
I don't even know.
So it was interesting because when you were talking, when you were going through those rules and stuff, I was having flashbacks to when I went to that Assemblies of God college.
Yep.
And I told Jordan, I'm like, going into that my first year, I was like, broke it. I've broken all but one.
You're like, but I have time. Gonna work on that one.
Oh, the one it would have been easy. It was gambling.
But you said you did buy the lottery ticket, so that's kind of like,
yeah, I mean.
I literally broke that last night.
Excellent.
I just hate gambling.
And that's one too, is it's not just sinning. They have a big thing about the appearance of evil. So really? if someone can perceive you as doing something that is not of, your values and morals, then that's just as bad as you doing it. So you always have to put up this image of perfection, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that is horror.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's a lot of pressure.
I would rather.
Especially, I know I harp on this a lot on my show, especially if we're a woman. it's a lot of pressure and a mom, because what they do reflects on you, how your family looks reflects on you, like
Right.
everything. I took it super internal. I internalized it, and it was all, it was all on me. Like if my kids looked sloppy, it was because I was a bad mom. If if I wasn't happy in my marriage, it was because I was a bad wife. Everything was just bad. It was me. It was me. It was all me.
It's all your fault.
My kids wore matching clothing. I was that mom.
Oh, wow.
For like years. Like they would go out in public and they'd all be in like matching clothes, and their hair would be perfectly combed and everything, because that made me a better person, obviously.
Well, we'll return right after the break. We'll return with Jordan and Amy with an I. Please stay with us. I'm Hertzey Hertz, and you're listening to Atheist Talk on KTNF AM 950.
Native Roots Radio is proud to announce we've added an extra hour.
Yeah, Chushke, 1 hour goes by too fast.
That's right, Uncle Curtis.
I'll have extra time to share important information about our secret animals.
And report national and native news from all over the country and Canada.
This new hour is sponsored by Robbins Kaplan LLP, dedicated to redefining excellence for high-stakes litigation representation in Indian country.
We are awake.
I'm Candy Brothel, publisher of the Twin Cities edition of Natural Awakenings magazine and host of Green Tea Conversations, a new show for people who are on a journey to take responsibility for their health and play a more active role in their family's well-being. Join me every Sunday at 10 a.m. as I interview local experts who share the latest in natural holistic approaches in a fun and informative way. So grab a cup of tea and join the conversation as we awaken to natural health. Visit us at naturaltwincities.com.
Hi, my name is Mickey McCabe. I'm the owner of Cucumbers Restaurant at 75th and France in Edina. Many who have dined at Cucumbers are of the opinion that our buffet has evolved from an older, more country-style buffet. They look at our 50-foot salad bar and can imagine a smaller ancestor with far fewer choices. An ancestor that didn't offer as many hot selections or have a bakery with fresh-baked muffins and breads. Didn't offer homemade soups and lacked the fresh fruit and ice cream bar that Cucumbers customers have grown to love. But some will say, where are the transitional buffets? In addition, they look at everything that we offer and say that Cucumbers is irreducibly complex. If you were to move just one of our offerings, the entire buffet wouldn't function. Well, I would like to think that Cucumbers was intelligently designed, since I helped design it. But at the same time, it truly is an evolutionary step up the buffet ladder. And as always, if you bring in your atheist newsletter or church bulletin, you will receive a $2 discount off the buffet price. Cucumbers, one heavenly buffet at 75th and France in Edina.
I've never met another atheist.
Sure you have. Non-believers make up 12% of the population.
Then where are they?
You can meet us at book clubs, pub crawls, discussion groups, movie nights, monthly meetings.
Okay, I get it. How am I going to keep track of all this?
Easy. Sign up for Minnesota Atheist Meetup Group and subscribe to AWE.
What's a meetup group?
Meetup is an online networking site that helps people build communities. We have over 700 members with at least 2 events every week.
And what is AWE?
It stands for Atheist Weekly Email. It comes out every Friday and lists everything that's going on.
How do I sign up?
Go to the Minnesota Atheists website, minnesotaatheists.org. On the left, click on the words Get Awe-Inspired.
And for the meetup?
Look for the red meetup badge on the right. Above it are the words, click here to check out the meetup group.
I'm sold. Minnesota Atheists, Meetup, and AWE. What's that website again?
minnesotaatheists.org.
Welcome back to Atheist Talk. KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota. You're tuned into Atheist Talk, and I'm your host, Hertzey Hertz. In studio, we have Jordan, and via Skype, we have Amy with an I. This is our final segment with Jordan and Amy. If you're curious about Minnesota Atheists, you can contact You can check us out at Minnesota Atheist website. We have previous episodes, browse articles, book reviews, and peruse the calendar of upcoming events. You can also sign up for the Atheist Weekly email, which will give you links to upcoming events. We always have tons of activities going around the Twin Cities and outlying suburbs. For example, I don't think I have anything right now on my up on my phone that I'm reading from, but I do know next week we should be doing our Cucumbers Brunch, which is always delicious. And if you enjoy the show and all that Minnesota Atheist has to offer, consider becoming a member of Minnesota Atheist while you're on the website. Memberships has some great perks. Check out the hows, the whys on the website. And now back to our conversation with Amy and Jordan.
We're back.
Yes. Amy, are you still here?
I'm here.
Awesome.
I'm just real quiet.
Yeah.
I'm used to being just, quiet and submissive.
I was going to say, despite the fact that you just talked about how you internalize a lot of that such and things, I for some reason do not see you as the quiet and submissive type.
I was not good at it, but I'm supposed to be.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Well, you were supposed to be. Now you can be whatever the heck you want.
Well,
yeah. I was going to say before,
don't kink shame me.
Hey!
I'm just kidding.
If you want to do the thing, you do the thing. I'm not going to...
I was going to say, I would rather people know me. It's yes, I like to drink and do whatever the hell I want. It's I'm not going to pretend that it's I'm some good Christian boy like I should have been when I was younger.
Exactly. You can really hurt yourself with all those should-haves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I was going into that AOG college, I had already started, going to Rocky Horror Picture Show. I did not last long. Oh, very.
Yes.
Oh.
I didn't even apply to BYU.
So which college did you go to? Or did you just skip it?
Well, I went to community college for a couple of years and then quit because I got married at 19.
Mm-hmm.
Which is super late. I was practically an old woman at that point, or old maid.
Whoa.
No. Yeah. So I finally went back to college at 28.
Nice.
Just locally. Yeah.
Hey, I did not. See, I tried that one, tried a couple other ones, did not graduate. So no, I do not have a degree, and went back, a few years ago, and still technically haven't finished and need to at some point.
I have a couple associate's degrees.
That is awesome.
Yep.
I'm working on, I have 10 credits left of my bachelor's.
Yay.
And then I was actually talking yesterday with my dude that instead of just finishing up the bachelor's, I want to roll it into and just get a master's.
Nice.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah. At some point,
might as well.
At some point, I'll look at actually finishing.
If I'm going to not pay the money back, I might as well not pay a lot of money back.
Right.
Oh, so true.
They're not going to get more money from me.
No. Granted, it might help you get a better job, so that would be nice.
That is actually the big selling point is my earning potential increases with every degree because it's a very niche field. So, yeah.
See, I just do accounting, so depending, sometimes you can get away with just learning the trade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do. Well, right now I'm kind of medical accounting, sort of.
Oh.
It's medical administration.
Got it.
Health information management stuff.
Ugh.
So, yeah.
That sounds exciting.
It is. It's as fun as it sounds.
All right.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Mormonism.
Yes.
So I have a question, because the history of Mormonism is laced with all sorts of stuff. So when you were actually Mormon, did you learn about it then, or did you learn about it after you got out?
Depends. It's hit or miss. It's a very whitewashed history. Things are glossed over. And you're actually told to ask God, not Google. That's a phrase that they say. Because the devil is out to get the church and just destroy the truth, and so he is out there to harm your testimony with false accusations and lies about the church.
Oh, okay.
So you're told very, very limited history, and that's just the truth. And everybody else has lies. So no, not really. And then when I left the church, I was like, wait, what? And I'd go back and read it. And then it's actually on their website, just buried really deeply.
Okay.
And so if you're on ex-Mormon forums, you can find links to that specifically because they have everything out there. But it's on LDS.org, but it's like buried. It's like click. Like you have to find it specifically. But you find it and you read everything. It's all there. It's out there. So they can say, we told you about it. Yeah. It's there. But then, no one's actually learning about it.
Right.
And then they still tell you don't ask Google. So it's like they don't even tell you to go to their own site.
No. Well, they do. Just not that link. Just don't go that far. Just don't go in. And I would talk to my dad. I'd be like, hey, what about this? And he's like, no, that's not. That's a lie, whatever. And I would send in the link. I'm like, it's on LDS.org. And he was like, well, okay. So when that happened, things were different then. Remember that. Remember things were different then. I'm like, but you just said it didn't happen. He was like, I'm telling you the way you said it. He was like, backpedal, move the goalpost. Yeah.
No, you said it differently. This is how it's really said. You said it differently.
Like you said you meant Anne. Silly woman. So sorry. So yeah, I stopped pushing. I would push like the first year or so and be like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Now I just I don't even care.
Yeah. Do you have any interest?
Now I just, see my parents and I drink.
Do you have any interest then in the history, or do you just?
Oh, I know a lot of stuff. I read when I first left the church, I obsessively listened to ex-Mormon podcast for about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. That's actually what piqued my interest in podcasting was I listened to them. And then I kind of branched out into, atheist podcast and, kind of because I no longer identified as ex-Mormon, I was just non-religious. Mm-hmm. But for the first year or so, it was just constantly just listening to it. And it was, history ones because I wanted to make sure that I was right. Mm-hmm. Because there's always that fear of, what if I'm not making the right choice by leaving? Because it didn't just affect me, it affected my entire family.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking for generations to come, it changes their course of life, their entire course. Mm-hmm. So it was a big decision. And so I had to keep reinforcing that I was making the right one by listening learning and speaking.
Make sure you didn't miss anything.
And I hate to do this, but we are actually at the end of the episode.
Just in case.
So, sorry.
I was just about to get interesting. Sorry. Just have to listen to my show.
Well, that's true. You'll find Amy on Secular Soup. Thank you for tuning into Atheist Talk. We'd love for you to join us next Sunday, which should be another exciting episode. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay cool and hydrated.
Stay inside.